All Century 21 real estate offices are independently owned and operated.
Good morning. I'm Jackie Ruddy, broker of Century 21, Jack Ruddy Real Estate. Welcome to the Real Estate Roundtable on 94.3 FM The Talker. I'm here with my husband, my pal, my friend, fellow realtor, Patrick Devaney.
Good morning, Jackie. How are you today?
Just wonderful. How are you?
I'm good.
Getting ready for Christmas?
I wish there was more daylight. I want more daylight. That's what I want.
But you're all done with your Christmas shopping.
Oh, of course I am.
And it's all wrapped.
Oh, of course.
Ready to go.
Of course.
And the Christmas tree is up, right?
Everything's done.
Everything's done. I don't have to worry about it.
No honey-do list for me.
All right. We're here with Bob Petrillo, owner of Total Inspection Solutions, home inspector. How are you?
I'm good, Jackie. How are you?
Thanks for being here with us.
Sure, my pleasure.
We're looking forward to a fabulous discussion. We're here every Saturday at 11 a.m. and Sunday at 11:30 a.m. where we discuss real estate. We have a full-time real estate office with many relentless realtors. We have been selling, appraising, and listing homes for 50 years.
50 years. Wow. During the week, feel free to email us with any questions you have at questions@jruddy.com. That's questions@jruddy.com. Or you can give us a call at 570-344-6724. And when you're at jruddy.com, click on the webcam tab. We have a webcam up on the roof, and we get thousands of hits a month. It's pointed at the corners. So if you want to see what the weather is at the corners, go to jruddy.com.
That's what I do. I check it out before going out. View our listings, search the MLS listings, and listen to archive radio shows by going to mobilefriendlyjruddy.com, JRUDDY.com. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram. Okay, Bob Petrillo, owner of Total Inspection Solutions. You are a home inspector in our area. Been doing this for a long time. Give me a brief rundown on who you are, what you do, please.
Okay, well, you already introduced me. Established my company in 2009. Before that, I actually had a real estate license. Wasn't too long after that, I realized I wasn't a salesperson. I was more inclined for construction. I was in the United States Navy Seabees for 6 years. So that's where I got my start in construction. So from 2009 till the present, we've been serving the greater Lackawanna, Luzerne, Pike, Wayne, 5-county area in our area as far as home inspections, termite inspections, radon gas testing. We offer well water testing as well as septic inspections. Very good.
So you're a one-stop shop. Sometimes we find inspectors that don't have all those credentials.
Correct. A lot of home inspectors, especially the radon. Radon is for someone that's maybe middle-aged that wants to get into home inspections. It's like going back to school. I mean, as far as chemistry class, radon, you have to know everything about neutrons and protons and things that really don't apply to everyday life when you're dealing with radon, but it's part of the curriculum that you have to pass to get certified.
Right, and I have to say most of our buyers do radon testing, so it's a move that most inspectors would have to make.
Correct. I tell people all the time, radon is not a requirement during your home inspection, but the whole purpose of doing a home inspection, it's a buyer's last chance to find out any issues with the property they're buying and to negotiate with the seller over those issues. If you don't get something tested at the time you're buying, 4 or 5 years later, for whatever reason you decide to sell your home, the new buyer does a radon test and it's high. Now it's upon you as the current seller to pay for the system to be installed.
It's one of those things that I think is should be a part of the home inspection. I mean, it's a colorless, odorless gas, so you cannot see it. You don't know you have it.
And it's a leading cause of lung cancer, too, isn't it?
Second.
The second leading cause of lung cancer behind cigarette smoke.
Right. So I think...
If I had it in my house, I'd want to get rid of it.
I think you're...
And they could, and the mitigation systems are...
The mitigations... I tell people when we're doing inspection, they say, what is the level? I say, anything under 4.0 is acceptable according to the state DEP. So say we did a radon test and it comes up 3.8. According to the state, that's acceptable. But what if you had 4.5 and radon mitigation company comes in, puts a system in for you, and now your radon level is testing at 0.2. That's better than 3.8. So don't be afraid of radon. If it's high, there's mitigation companies that come in and do a great job to get rid of it for you.
But along those lines, too, it could be 3.8 at the time of testing. However, if you have strong winds, rain, that sort of type of weather, it fluctuates daily. It's not steady at 3.8 every day of your life.
No, that's totally correct. When we do a radon test for people, the machines that we use, the continuous radon monitors, they literally print out an hour-by-hour reading, and what we normally go by is the 48-hour average. But if you actually look at the 48 or the hour-by-hour reading, it proves what you just said. It might go from 0.5, next hour it might be 1.2, might shoot up to 5, then it might come back down to 3. There's a lot of factors that influence the radon.
So if you have 3 days or 48 hours of just steady weather, calmness, sunshine, it's going to read different than if you have 48 hours of wind, storms, rain.
That is definitely what we've found out for
All
sure.
Right. So there's a lot of discussion about where to put a radon monitor. Is it down in the lowest level of living area or an unfinished basement?
Well, there was a lot of that discussion back in 2009 when I first started the company. So who better to ask than the people that certify you? So after a discussion with the Department of Environmental Protection, they said the actual requirement is the radon monitor goes within the lowest livable space. Livable does not mean finished. The homeowner needs to have a reason to be in the basement. An unfinished basement that might have your laundry. The homeowner's going to be down there. Somewhere where your service panel or your boiler or furnace is located. The homeowner may have an unfinished stone basement, but he has a makeshift workshop that he put down there that he's going to be spending time. So what they qualify as lowest livable space, the ceiling has to be at least 6 foot tall. The floor has to have stone or concrete on it. It can't be dirt. And again, the homeowner needs a reason to be down there to put it in that. According to the DEP, that's their lowest level.
Okay, so case in point, Brazy Point. Your father pulled up the water heater, the furnace to the first floor, the laundry to the first floor. There's still stairs to go down. There's plumbing down there, and I don't know that
They pulled the electrical panel out. The ceiling is a little bit over 6 feet.
Okay.
Just a hair.
So what would you do there?
I'd look at it. What type of flooring's in the basement?
Concrete.
I'd probably put it in the basement. Because that's where you're going to get your truest reading of what it is. And keep in mind, with radon, you put the monitor in the lowest level. So if all your amenities are on the first floor, radon has, it cuts itself in half every story that you go up. So if it tests at 4 in the basement, it's probably only 2 in your living space. So it's not, I tell that to people all the time, whatever it is, you don't need to test your living space as well, because I could tell you just by testing the basement what your living space is going to be. I mean, that's not 100% accurate, but it's probably 85% accurate.
There are people, Bob, that believe that termites and radon are a myth.
Termites are not a myth. I've seen them.
I know, but I have had very interesting and colorful discussions with people that are convinced that it's a conspiracy, and that they don't really exist, and it's all a big...
Did the spaceships tell them this?
I don't know.
Did they come down and deliver a message?
I mean, imagine.
Don't believe the radar.
I try to be very diplomatic when I'm confronted with these situations.
Yes,
but
I've seen you. You are very good with them.
Well,
you really truly
I
are.
try. I have to be. But there are. But I mean, do you see radon and termites continuously throughout wherever you go, whatever county you go?
I would say, like for radon, I would probably say maybe 3 out of every 10 tests we do are elevated. 30%, and it all depends. What we're finding out over the years, it really depends a lot. Sure, I mean, your house may be located over, radon comes from uranium in the soil that decays. Mm-hmm. Your house may be over some uranium, but the type of foundation that your property has determines a lot of the reading as well. Like the old stone foundation or even masonry block that's porous, there's air gaps. So when radon comes up from the floor, it gets out of the side foundation fairly easy. The ones the newer houses with the poured concrete or the superior wall foundations that they use, they're so well built to keep moisture out, which is great. But they don't tell you when radon comes up from the floor, it also helps keep it in the basement. So those type of properties, brand new construction, I would tell everyone that has a brand new constructed house,
automatically put the mitigation system in.
If you don't put it in when it's being built, at least have it tested so you know if you need one.
Yeah, but it's so much easier to put in when the house is being built, just to put it right in.
It's so cheaper. Much easier and much cheaper. Like I would say a normal mitigation for a house that's already constructed is probably anywhere between $1,200 and $1,500. For a builder to put it in while they're building the house, you're probably looking at $200, if that.
Yeah, it's nothing.
No.
All right, so let me I had a gentleman who called me not too long ago from Honesdale, Richard Allen. I think he goes by Dick. His name is Dick. He asked me in the next discussion I had regarding radon, and we've had several with mitigation companies that have come in on the radio show. He's asked that I ask this question because he's not clear on our previous radio shows. He would like to know, do you test building lots for radon? And if you do, why don't we talk about it? And if you don't, why don't you?
We don't. Only because there's no sidewalls to keep radon in. Like we literally could put our monitors set up outside in your parking lot right now. It's going to show radon level because radon, it's not just coming up where houses are built. It's coming up in parking lots and people's yards. It's going to show at least 0.3 or 0.4 because that's the rate that radon comes up. So, but 0.3 or 0.4, radon dissipates as soon as it hits the oxygen level. So what I think he's talking about is, can you anticipate if I build a house on this lot?
If I'm going to have radon or not.
Right. Mm-hmm. That is up in the air. Believe me, radon has made a fool out of me many times, so I stopped trying to predict anything with radon. But again, it's going to show something, but if you put a brand new house with poured concrete or superior walls, whatever is coming up from the floor is going to show up in the test. Because it's going to be there. It's not getting out of that house.
So build a house, like we just said moments ago.
Then test it.
If you have a building lot and you're planning on building coming up in 2021, I would just ask the builder, can you please put a radon mitigation system in?
There you go. You have it. And hopefully you don't have to use it, but it's there if you need it.
Right. And they also put what's called passive systems. Passive is just a pipe. They have a pipe already in the basement floor, usually running up through the basement, and they'll put it into the attic. Now, if you build your property and you want a radon test and it still shows up high, it's nothing for a radon mitigation company to come, add the fan that's needed in the attic, and now you have the system's already in. You're up and running for $300.
Makes sense to me, Bob. With us today is Bob Petrillo, owner of Total Inspection Solutions. How does someone get in touch with you, please?
Well, we do have our own website. It's totalinspectionsolutions.com. It's a very client user website. A lot of videos that shows you what we do during inspections, pictures, tells you the services that we offer. Also, our phone number is 570-335-4073, and I basically have that phone on me 20 hours a day.
And run down the counties, again, that you serve.
Predominantly, we're located in the Dunmore area for Lackawanna County, but we go to Luzerne County. We've gone to Pike, Wayne, Wyoming. The accreditation that I have as a home inspector is not just for Pennsylvania, it's national. I've actually done home inspections in the Binghamton and Vestal, New York area as well.
Okay, so where do you do most of your inspections? Would you say Lackawanna County?
Lackawanna is probably 52%, Luzerne County is probably 40%, and then the rest is
Okay.
a mixed bag. Although we have been going to Wayne County up in the Lake Ariel area. a lot.
Wayne County, who's moving in?
Them's New Yorkers.
Them's New Yorkers. You got it right.
Yeah, you've been hopping up there, right?
They've been hopping like crazy. The Wallenpaupack Peck Lake Estate area, the Hideout, they're just flying off. The out-of-town people can't buy the properties fast enough.
That's how I got up. I came up to the area. My friend has a house up on Goose Pond Road.
There you go.
And when we were kids, we would come up there. He still
Yeah.
has it, Bobby.
You came up, though, long before it became a trend.
Yeah, no, we were coming up in the
Yeah.
70s.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Pat, would you like to review a listing?
Yes, we have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath ranch-style home at 2118 Ash Street in Scranton for $179,000. This well-cared-for home, it's in move-in condition. It has large rooms, a covered patio off the dining room, and a built-in 2-car garage. The lower level is partially finished. It would be great for additional living space. It's also got a large cedar closet in the basement. It also has a huge backyard and a rear driveway for additional off-street parking. That's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath ranch-style home at 2118 Ash Street in Scranton for $179,000. That's listed by Debbie Kohut of our office.
Thank you, Pat. We are pleased to welcome Amanda Rudis to our Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate team. Amanda has a strong background in investment properties and the construction field because she has partnered with her husband in these business ventures. Amanda was born and raised in West Scranton and presently resides in South Abington Township. She's a member of the Greater Scranton Board of Realtors since 2016. Amanda states communication is her number one priority. She will do what it takes to assure a smooth buying and or selling experience for all her clients. She understands home is where the heart is. You can contact Amanda at 570-702-6785. And I'd like to say, welcome, Amanda Rudis, to our office. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Real Estate Roundtable with Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate on 94.3 FM The Talker. We'll be right back.
The talented team of professionals at Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate. They're not just real estate agents, they're agents of change. They're on a never-ending quest for the best for you and your family. They can help you find precisely what you want at this time in your life. A computer, a website, an app, and a listing by itself can't do that. They're obsessed with better and deliver extraordinary, embracing the what if, not just the what's been done before, with a level of accountability and honesty not found anywhere else in the real estate industry. Don't settle for average, okay, or just all right. This change in your life is monumental, and there's only one Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate that will help you rock that change. Call 570-344-6724 and visit jruddy.com, JRUDDY.com. Each Century 21 office is independently owned and operated.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Roundtable with Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate on 94.3 FM The Talker. I'm Jackie Ruddy, broker, and with Pat Devaney, my husband and fellow realtor.
And we're back.
We are back with Bob Petrillo, owner of Total Inspection Solutions. Thank you for being here with us, talking about home inspections.
Sure.
And you have been doing home inspections in our area and surrounding counties since 2009.
Correct. Actually, last month in November, it was my 11th anniversary.
Nice. Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
All right. So first half of the show, much of it was spent on radon. I'd like to move into the wood-destroying insect area of the home inspection. Not everybody does wood infestation inspection. They should, because like radon, it could be missed by the naked eye. You know what you are looking for. Most people don't have that knowledge, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Isn't that usually a condition of financing, too, getting the
Sometimes
insects?
yes and sometimes no. It used to always be. Remember those days, Bob?
I was just going to mention that. Back in 2009, when I got involved in the home inspection aspect, it was almost mandatory that every lender
wood destroying insects
would require that. You know, they're lending you their money to buy the house. They want to make sure it's structurally safe. Lately, especially with FHA, which is shocking to me.
Likewise.
I've been asking people, you know, one of the things we do is we'll say to them, what type of financing are you using? Because FHA and VA look for certain different things that may be a conventional.
If I may interrupt you, that's what gives you the edge over many inspectors, because you have that real estate background. You know that.
Yes.
Some don't
Right.
have that knowledge. How could they?
Correct. And I remember back in 2009 and 2010, there was different things going. Like we would have different mortgage lenders would literally have classes or, quote, cocktail parties where they would show you their part of the business and tell you what they look for. So when you're doing a home inspection, maybe, we're really concerned about this. Maybe you should concentrate on that. But it was very helpful. That seemed to have gone away. Like they don't do that anymore. Even like different seminars for potential buyers, where either a real estate company or a lending company would put on, like a little party information
Session.
Especially now with the pandemic. Obviously, that's not happening, but it just kind of went away a little bit.
So on a wood destroying insect inspection, you need to have a certification in order to do that. Not all home inspectors can or will be able to perform it. Okay. All right. So when you're going into a home, and there's a lot of confusion, and of course our listeners, it's just usually essentially 1 to 2 pages, this little wooden, it's not little, but it's packed with a ton of information that can be misunderstood. So there's 2 check boxes. Visible, right? Okay, under the wood destroying insect, the top portion of it, you have 2 boxes that you check as a home inspector, whether there's visible evidence of active infestation, right?
Correct.
Or if there's no visible evidence. Right.
And then there's another spot on the bottom where it allows you to check a box if you see visible insects present or visible damage from past insect present.
Therein lies a little of the confusion. So if we had a property that had at one time, 5 owners ago, that they had termites and they treated for those termites, you still have to check that box that states that there's evidence of past infestation.
We put down that there's, visible damage apparent in whatever, say it's a floor joist in a basement area. But we also, like I do anyway, don't want to speak for other home inspectors, but I also make a comment that there was no live insects present at the time of the inspection. So that would kind of clarify that, look, there is damage, but it's been treated. And, the structural damage is not, it's not to the point where you need an engineer or something like that.
But if it is concerning to someone that there's damage,
yes, we always recommend further evaluation, either by the pest control company, or if either a general contractor, or if you need a structural engineer.
Right. Okay.
So termites come in through the dirt. They don't come in through the surface. They don't fly. They crawl in through the foundation. That's how they get
basically come in through the foundation area, and they're not present in every basement, but any basement typically that has either a dirt floor, maybe a stone foundation, or some type of foundation that it's allowing moisture to come in. And then if you have gas appliances down there, like a water heater or a boiler furnace, that all creates condensation, then like a moist air atmosphere, and insects thrive on that.
What we did in our house, we have an over 100-year-old house. We did the spray foam installation on the basement. We have spray foam over the joist, so I don't know how we would tell if we have insects infestation, but we put a can fan in one side of the basement because it was always musty down there. And on the other side is the old vent pipe, so it draws the air in from one side of the basement and it expels it on the other. Yeah, so the basement is 10 times drier than it was before, and we don't have that, what is that, moldy, stale smell in the house that we used to have.
What type of foundation is it?
It's a stone foundation, but it's got the spray foam over it.
The whole foundation?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So it's but the water still comes up through the floor.
Absolutely.
When
it's
it rains,
just the way those homes
when it rains,
built.
we get a river. We have a French drain.
Well, there is a river that runs. There's a creek. A cricket. No, a crick.
Cricket.
Not a creek, a crick.
A cricket.
That runs under our home.
Yeah.
A creek.
And so we have a French drain.
Sure.
Yeah, so it does when it's torrential, a lot of rain, it goes right down the sides.
Oh, yeah, I could see it come up through the floor. It just comes up and goes. But it dries out.
It does. And then you have...
And then we get a creak.
Then we have the space heater, too, where we leave it on.
Yes, but that's even a better reason why we have the can fan down there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, if you were selling your property and someone says, I don't know, should I do a termite inspection?
How would I know?
And we went downstairs and saw your type of insulation, I would turn to the client and say, you don't need to waste your money on a termite inspection because I can't see anything. I'm not going to be able
that was one of
That
my
was my question.
Yeah.
How can you tell with the spray foam?
Yeah.
You can't.
But it's not over all the joists. It's
just on the wall.
On the,
Right.
on the sill plate.
But I mean, buying a property is hard enough on buyers. God knows it's expensive. So if, like, we don't do unnecessary services that just to get a client to pay us for it. So if I can't see termite evidence or even not just the spray foam, if we do a property that has a basement that has fiberglass insulation and it's stapled to all the floor joists, again, we're not allowed. That's another thing. Like, home inspectors are not allowed to do a lot of different things that maybe potential buyers.
Oh, you can't rip down the insulation
Correct.
to look under it?
That's right.
Why not?
Because
I'm buying the house.
I mean,
I want it looked at.
Boy, you sound very familiar. But that's basically like we're not allowed to move furniture unless there's a reason. If someone says, "Oh, we noticed in a picture there's a big hole in the floor, but I think it was underneath that sofa," obviously we can move the sofa because there's. But just to go in and start moving,
What about area rugs on a floor? Because a lot of times
rugs we will move if the property's vacant. If there's furniture on top of it or anything, we're not allowed to do that.
Right, because, sometimes there are defects under area floors, under area rugs, and that the present owner might have forgotten about. I'm not suggesting anything, bad here, or that the floors were painted
around the rug.
Around the rug.
You see that all the time.
That's my favorite.
Or there's pieces of the floor wood missing.
It's the old-fashioned hardwood flooring, and where the area rug is, if you remove it, it's basically naked wood, and all around it the floor's painted brown or whatever, and we see that all the time. But most of the time the previous homeowner at least leaves the area rug.
I have a story, and then we have to close this show, and we're going to ask you to come back. But this is a true story, right hand up to God. We had not me personally, but we had a home that was for sale, and the buyer and the buyer's agent from another company wanted the home inspector to cut out the paneling in the basement, cut it out, take a saw and cut out a portion of the wall so that they could look behind it, or they weren't going to buy the house.
Well, then obviously they didn't buy the house because any
didn't.
reputable home inspector.
No, it was refused by the seller, by everybody. But I couldn't believe that someone made such a bold request, but it happens.
Yeah, they feel like it's their money. They need to know these things, but like, we do have a standard of practice we have to follow, and that's just not part of it.
Bob Petrillo, owner of Total Inspection Solutions. How does someone get in touch with you, please?
Again, our company phone number is 570-335-4073. Company website is totalinspectionsolutions.com. And our email is totalinspectionsolutionsllc@gmail.com.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, Jackie.
Yes, we have a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, a condo at 550 Clay Avenue in Scranton for $159,000. This modern apartment, it's on the 8th floor. It's got stunning views of the cities, and there's 2 elevators. It also has an enclosed porch. It has a parquet hardwood floors, large walk-in closet, built-in cabinets. There's also storage in the basement, and there's also available parking in the basement garage. That's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo at 550 Clay Avenue in Scranton for $159,000. That's listed by Chuck Weisberger of our office. Do you inspect condos?
We inspect anything that people want us to.
Okay.
And I know Chuck personally. He's a good man.
Join us next Saturday at 11 a.m. and Sunday at 11:30 a.m. for more of the Real Estate Roundtable with Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate on 94.3 The Talker.